What is he?
Oh no, it's Ragiroth Enterprise!
I love to sing about the moon and the June and the springer. I love to sing about a sky of blue or a T-42, anything with.
How's it going, everybody? Rich from Ragiroth Enterprises here with another video talking about Mortal Kombat. Talking about Mortal Kombat 11, things I'd like to see for it. Now, my last video I talked about characters I'd like to see in Mortal Kombat 11 that were not in MKX, but were in MK9 or games even older than that, like the 3D era games. This time I'm actually going to be talking about characters that were in MKX that I'd like to see come back for MK11. Now, the last list was pretty damn long. It was 12 characters with like 5 honorable mentions. This one's much shorter. As I said in the previous video, I wasn't super crazy about Mortal Kombat X's roster. So there's not too many characters I have a strong attachment to, not to mention I'm kind of disqualifying super obvious characters like Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and Raiden anyway. It's just basically 8 characters I'd like to see come back with 1 honorable mention. So here it goes. Number 8.
Tanya.
Now, before MKX, I was not really a huge Tanya fan. I thought she was very plain and generic, honestly. I was actually pretty frustrated that of all the 3D era characters I'd like to see come back, she was one of the ones they added in the Combat Pack 1. However, I guess seeing her in action in MKX kind of made me change my mind. I just liked her design more. I think her moveset was just a lot better. I mean, yeah, like 2 of her variations were just weapons anyway, though I guess to be fair, she had one of those weapons in Mortal Kombat Deception already. So yeah, I don't know, there's something about her that just I think did a lot better in MKX. She was just like kind of another plain fire user, and like actually only one of her variations she really uses fire at all in MKX. So yeah, I would actually like to see her back. She was actually one of my favorite females in the game. And I mean, I know NetherRealm does kind of like her. I think that's one of the reasons she made it back in MKX. I think, fun fact, I think she's actually named after Ed Boon's sister. Now, in regards to what her chances are, I mean, nothing terrible happened to her in the story, and she's kind of popular. I think she's sort of one of the more popular 3D era characters, not that that's saying much. And I guess they do need kind of Outworld characters and Edenian characters, but the problem with her is she's a DLC character, and I don't know why. NetherRealm does not seem too keen on bringing back characters that were DLC in the base roster or period in a sequel, which I think is very baffling logic if you ask me. Kenshi so far is the only character to make it back from a previous Mortal Kombat or Injustice game to the sequel that was a DLC character before, so I think our chances aren't great. I don't think they're terrible, but they're not great. Alright, so moving on to number 7.
Kotal Khan.
As soon as I saw Kotal Khan, I thought he was a pretty cool character. I think I can speak for a lot of people when we kind of thought of Ogre from Tekken when I first saw him, but I'm not complaining. I really like Ogre. And you don't really see many Aztec-based fighters. I mean, like, yeah, to be honest, there was only one of his variations I really liked. I think it was the
Yeah, I think that wraps it up for Shao Kahn. Moving on to...
They use the sword primarily more. Not that I dislike the other two, I think I just wasn't as good with them as I was with War God. Now, I don't even think we have to debate his chances. He is incredibly likely. He was pretty important to the story. Very unique character. Nothing bad happened to him in the game. You know, he's the current Emperor of Outworld. He's been teased to have still bigger roles and endings. Now, Kotal Khan is not going anywhere. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure he was mentioned in a couple of leaks if they wind up being true. We don't know if they're true, but still, Kotal's definitely coming back. So I don't really feel like I or any of us have to worry about him, and that's fine. I like him. All right, so moving on to number 6.
Akita.
I didn't hate the combat kids, but they were kind of frustrating additions, especially with some of them kind of having their parents. More so Cassie with both of her parents and Jackie and Jax. However, I love Takeda. He is one of my favorite new characters. He is awesome. I love his design. His moveset is awesome. His personality's fun. I love like everything about Takeda. He's awesome. I think it also helps because out of all, I guess, the combat kids, I guess he is the two coolest mentors or parents, whatever. I mean, Kenshi's great and Scorpion's cool. I think they're the most interesting out of all the parents or relatives, whatever you want to call it. So I guess, you know, their influence kind of made Takeda more interesting for me. Now, in regards to his chances, just like Kotal Khan, I am super confident he'll be back. There's a good chance that I think all 4 of the combat kids will be back, which I'm not super thrilled about that idea, but I think if for some reason not all of them were to come back, he would be one of the more likely ones, because he's one of the most unique. I think he's the most popular, or at least one of the most popular of the kids. I think he was featured in the MKX comic. Maybe him and Cassie, I think, were featured maybe the most. I don't feel like I remember hearing that much about Kong Jin or Jackie that much in the comics. I mean, he has, you know, him and Kenshi doing their thing, you know, trying to take down the Red Dragon. Nothing bad happened in the story mode, so Takeda, I think, is totally safe. Okay, next up is number 5.
Mileena.
Now this is a controversial one with Mileena. Mileena's awesome. She's probably my favorite out of, I guess, like, or at least one of my favorite of I guess, the original trilogy Mortal Kombat characters. I mean, I've always kind of liked her, but I think it wasn't until Deception, and even more so Mortal Kombat 9, that I really started to like her. Just everything, her design, her moveset, her personality. You know, I was always really good with her too. So that helped. I really hope she comes back. Now here's the deal with Mileena though. Things didn't go too well for her in the MKX story mode. Not at all. She got pretty messed up by Devora. Here's the thing. Unlike some of the other characters that died in MKX, Mileena is an artificial creation that is a clone. That there's multiple clones of her, can be cloned. So I think it's possible that Mileena could be in the next game, and it's simply just another clone of her. Or maybe the one that was killed in MKX was actually not even the original Mileena. Maybe that one was a clone. And not only that, we gotta remember, it's Mortal freaking Kombat. People come back to life all the time. She could come back as a Revenant. Maybe Quan Chi brought her back as a Revenant before Quan Chi died. There's a bunch of ways she could come back, but I think the clone one is probably, I guess, the safest one without it seeming too ridiculous. And I think the thing is, Mileena is one of the only female villains from the original trilogy. If you want some, you know, female bad guys, it's really just like her, Sindel, Shiva, who I really hope is not in the game. I don't think he's too popular anyway. I mean, I know, yeah, Katana's kind of a villain now too, so I still don't fully count her as a villain. We know her more as a hero. But, yeah, I mean, I could see her not making it back. I really could. My gut feeling is that she's not going to be in. However, I feel like NetherRealm has been kind of pushing her a bit more, maybe since like MK9, maybe even since Deception. So maybe they are kind of trying to make her more of a staple now. Unlike before, she has pretty good attendance in the games. I think the only one game she missed was what? I think she was in MK4. Deadly Alliance. I know she wasn't in Deadly Alliance. Yeah, it was like just Deadly Alliance, MK versus DC, and of course Mortal Kombat 1 because she wasn't created then. But yeah, that was it. She's had pretty good attendance otherwise. This applies to some characters on the list. Like, as much as I would like them back, if I actually get characters I want that didn't make an MKX, I'll feel a little bit better about losing some characters that I love that are in MKX, depending on who they are. Mileena is one of them, as much as I still want her in the game. You know, I know a lot of the people want her in the game. I always see people mention her. You know, let's hope she does. I really think it could go either way with her. But I am leaning towards probably she's going to at least sit this game out. Okay, now on to number 4.
Reptile.
Basically, any game that doesn't have Noob Saibot in it, you can basically guarantee that Reptile will be one of my mains, or my main. I know I mained him back in Deadly Alliance when there was no Noob Saibot. one of my mains in MKX when there was no noob sidebot. Reptile has been one of my favorites for a long time. I tend to really like reptilian characters because they're pretty cool animals. I've always been fairly good with them. I know, I mean, MKX, like, he was a little awkward to use at times. And I didn't like how his variations, like, literally the only thing that changed was like one move, and they were all kind of, only one move was a staple of Reptile, the invisibility. I just didn't like that they made only like one key difference between the 3 variations. Hopefully if he does come back, they kind of fix that a bit, they give him a little more to work with. Now, in regards to his chances, Reptile's tricky. He's had pretty good attendance in the games. He was even in the first Mortal Kombat, though he wasn't playable in most versions of it. The only game he really missed was Deception, because he was too busy being Onaga, and Mortal Kombat vs. DC, but I mean, that roster was missing a lot, so... Johnny Cage wasn't even in that roster, so... And nothing bad has happened to him in the story mode, right? You know, it's just unfortunate. He's just always kind of a lackey character that we never really get to see do much or play as or anything like that. I'm actually kind of hoping that maybe, it's probably not going to happen, but if he does come back in MK11, maybe he'll kind of sort of work with the good guys a bit. Because it's like, really, Reptile's not that bad of a guy. He just wants to restore his race. The problem is that everyone that says, I can help you restore your race, is always like a bad guy. It's always Shang Tsung, Shao Kahn, Quan Chi, Kotal Khan, though he's debatable in terms of being a bad guy, I would say. So I think Reptile could easily be like an anti-hero or something like that. I just don't know if they'd do that. You know, it's a cool idea, so they probably wouldn't do it. But I think his chances are good. They're not like, he's not super safe like Takeda or Kotal Khan, but I wouldn't be too shocked if he made it in MK11. And you know, like I said with Melina, you know, as much as I would like him to come back, if I get characters I actually want and he doesn't make it in, the wound won't be as big. Okay, so now on to number 3.
Ermac.
Ermac actually started off as maybe my least favorite ninja, but I think since Mortal Kombat Deception, I have really started liking him a lot more. I don't know, just his design, the effects of his moves, just everything about him. I've always, you know, MK9, especially MK9, really made me like him even more, giving him a little bit more personality, a little bit more, the way he fought, and I loved his alternate outfit. His alternate outfit in MK9 is my favorite design for Ermac, period. MKX was kind of like at least as default, the alternate for MK9. However, like, I just don't like that they kind of showed his face, and it was all like crept and stuff. It didn't kill the design, it did hurt a little bit. But, and like Reptile, he was one of the characters that didn't have as much variation in his variations, though less so than Reptile. He at least had a little bit more. Now, do I think he'll come back? I'm gonna say no. Because Ermac has had slightly worse, I'd say, attendance in the games than Reptile, though I guess that's partially because he was created a bit later, technically. I mean, he started off as something in MK1 with our macro glitch, but that doesn't really count. And if that's the case, that means Scarlet has been in for a long time as well. The thing is, it's like, yeah, he doesn't have perfect attendance. He's very, very minor story role, unfortunately. I don't know how popular Ermac is. I guess he's gained a little more popularity. But yeah, he doesn't have perfect attendance, and like, it doesn't help that like, in his ending, he, I don't know if he gets killed, but he gets severely weakened because Shang Tsung actually comes out of him, or I guess breaks out of him, or you know, his soul breaks out, you know. And I think Shang Tsung is most likely going to be in MK11, and I think, unfortunately, Ermac is going to maybe have to be that way that Shang Tsung comes back. And even if he's not dead, point is, Ermac is probably not going to be in fighting shape. So he might have to take a little break in this game, and once again, if he does not make it, but I get other characters I want, I will deal with his loss. Alright, now we're getting up there. Moving on to number 2.
Aaron Black.
Now, Aaron Black, hands down, is my favorite new character introduced in MKX. I'm not really a big cowboy fan. However, when cowboys are done right, they're awesome. I just love his design, his play style, his personality. I like how, you know, he's like this kind of Mad Max cowboy guy. He's got like this mystical sand and stuff. He's very mysterious for the most part. He's a blast to play, as no pun intended. I love all three of his variations. I love everything about Erron Black. Like I said, when cowboys are cool, they are really cool. And it would be really a shame if he was a one and done character. He's probably my favorite new character NetherRealm was made in a while, not counting Scarlet. Now, in terms of his chances, well, on one hand, I think he's considered pretty popular. Nothing bad happened in the story mode. I think in one of like the arcade endings, like I think Jax's, he might have gotten killed, but I don't know if that's canon. He just didn't get to do much in the story mode, and that's probably the one thing that's kind of concerning me, is NetherRealm might just seem like, oh, he was just kind of a, you know, lackey character. However, lackey characters have made it back before. And the thing is, I think they may not have let you play as him or get much to do with him in the story mode because they weren't sure how popular he was going to be. They, you know, maybe they didn't think he would have had the impact he did. I am praying to God he does make it back. Like, if he doesn't make it back, even though I do get characters I want, I will be bothered. I will definitely be pissed about that. I'll say that much, because you know, unlike some other characters I mentioned, you know, I've only got to play there in one game, so please NetherRealm, just bring him back, please. Like, he's awesome, and I'd like to see more, you know, more of what they do with him. So now, I got one honorable mention before I do my number one pick, and that is
SHINNOK.
I'm kind of like Tanya. I wasn't a huge SHINNOK fan before MKX. I didn't dislike or hate him like I did Tanya. He was just like, meh. MK4, he was very plain and kind of goofy looking. Armageddon made me like him a bit more, but MKX, I really liked him in MKX. Mainly for his moveset, especially the Necromancer and Bone Shaper variations. Those were awesome. I love those. And the Mimicry one was okay. Yeah, I just really liked playing as him. I think he was seeing him in this game, I think he's a much better villain. I mean, yeah, it is still typical, like, evil ruler villain, evil typical conqueror, like Shao Kahn and all that. But even still, I think we got to see a little bit more of him. And his corrupt form was pretty sick. I mean, it was a shame when you get to play as that, or it wasn't a costume or anything, because it did look pretty cool, but the reason he's actually an honorable mention, I actually probably like him more than a couple characters on the list. However, I am like so convinced he is not coming back. Because like technically he's not dead, but he's basically a vegetable. He's literally just a head right now. And I don't think there's clones of SHINNOK or anything like with Melina, and he is nowhere near as popular as Melina. So I'm sorry, SHINNOK. You're probably not making it back in the next game. Doesn't mean I wouldn't want you back. No, on the other hand, I would really like to see other 3D era characters that I actually already really like to get a shot, please. So, you know, yeah, hopefully maybe in another MK game, but I think for MK11, I'm okay if he doesn't, you know, I'd like him back, but at the same time, it's okay. It's okay if he doesn't come back, I understand. Alright, so now my number one pick, and it is
Tremor.
I have wanted Tremor playable for a long time. I'll be honest, I never played Mortal Kombat Special Forces, nor did I really have much of an interest in playing it. However, as soon as I heard there was another ninja in that is unplayable, I was definitely very interested. We never really had much I guess, Earth-based characters. I mean, people are like, oh, Jax is Earth-based. Yeah, he is a ground pound. That's not Earth-based. That's like when I hear people say that Fujin would just be a clone of Katana or Kung Lao because of the one wind-based move they have. No, it doesn't work like that. There's a lot more. There's a lot more you can do with an element. I was really happy that in MKX they finally decided to make him playable. Because honestly, there wasn't really that many characters I was super excited about when MKX was coming out. But then they announced Combat Pack 1, and I'm like, holy crap, it's Tremor! And I loved his design. Love his moveset, and his personality and voice is really cool as well. I mean, the only nitpicks I probably have of him are his pants, they look like Renaissance fair pants or something like that. I kind of don't like, I didn't really like how the rock or ravel's kind of around his chest. It looks kind of off. I don't know, I can't really explain it. And while not as bad as Reptile, I wish there was a little more variation in his variations. Although for the most part he had the same moves, it's just that they kind of just had different looks and properties to them. I would like to see him making more earth weapons and all that in his moveset. He really did that in one of his fatalities. But no, I loved everything about Tremor. Oh my god, yeah, I loved everything about Tremor. He was easily my main character, no questions asked, and I'd really like to see him back. Now, in regards to his chances, my gut feeling, it tells me that he is not going to come back. Which I really think is a load of bullcrap. I really don't like that NetherRealm, they will add characters that people genuinely want as DLC, and they just don't bring them back in the sequel. I respect that they want to stick to the story they want to tell and the characters, and that's great and all, but at the end of the day, this is a fighting game. We want to play as characters we want to play as. If you're making this awesome story, but the characters we play as are characters that we don't really care about, it's, and it's just for one mode. There's still other modes where we want to use characters we like. And I mean, look, I don't know. Even though my gut feeling is saying no, that doesn't mean it's, he's definitely not coming back. I actually think, I do think if one of the new characters is Kano's son, there could be a Black Dragon, big focus in the story, and I mean, Tremor is Black Dragon. So I think that does help, and it's as far as I know, and the thing is with Tremor, you could also maybe discuss more of the Dream Realm, because he's one of the few characters we've heard about the Dream Realm from, especially if that mysterious woman that's tied with Jade has anything to do with the Dream Realm. So there's kind of a connection there. I'm more so going based off patterns. They just don't seem to want to bring the fan requested characters that were DLC back. I'd like to say he would have more of a shot than Scarlet, just because he was already an existing character. But I don't know. I actually do think if Scarlet comes back and Tremor doesn't come back, I do think at the very least it would show that they'd be up for bringing those characters back, even if it's not the following game. So yeah, I would really like Tremor to come back. I don't think he is going to, but if he does, that'd be awesome. And I actually thought of another character that I can't believe I left off this list that I would kind of like to see come back, but I'm kind of conflicted about it, and you'll explain why. And it is Triborg was actually probably my other main in MKX, mainly because I'm a huge fan of Smoke and Sector and Cyber Sub-Zero. Part of the reason I forgot about Triborg is I guess because on one hand I would really like to see Smoke come back as a human or demon, whatever, and have his own 3 variations. And it's yeah, I would kind of just for Sector, Cyrex, and Cyber Sub-Zero just to kind of kill 3 birds with 1 stone and just come back as Triborg. But at the same time, it would be nice to see Sector and Cyrex, get their own variations and see what they come up with that. That's kind of why, I kind of forgot about them, but Triborg, just like Tremor, was actually one of my, they were basically my 2 main characters, mainly the Smoke variation. In regards to what the chances are that I have no idea with Triborg. I want to say no, but I don't know. That could go either way. I think at least one of the cyborgs or Smoke will be back. I just don't know if it'll be Triborg or what the deal with that will be is. So yeah, that's my list. I hope I didn't go on too long. I want to say it's at least a lot shorter than the last one. Let me know what characters you guys would like to come back from MKX. I know I see a lot of people say Melina. I'm there with you, trust me, as you can see. Don't forget to like the video if you like it, dislike it, dislike it. It's a free country. Check out marketing art in the description below. I'd also really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, another time, another place. Keep being awesome.